to the slide, just let it be there. Go to the slide. And then when you're ready, you're going to hit camera. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of New Westminster Online Edition. Join us for our opening song this morning, I Do What Gives Me Life. Yeah, I noticed that last week too. You had notifications
I
coming
do
in.
what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, in these moments I am given.
Maybe we can just put it on Do Not
In
Disturb.
situations called me, I now choose this path of living. I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life.
So what you know, so this
I
should be
do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, in these moments I am given. These moments I am given. In situations called me, I now choose this path of living. I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, these moments I am given. In situations called me, I now choose this path of living. I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, these moments I am given. In situations called me, I now choose this path of living. I now choose what sets me free. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. Hey, I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life. I do what gives me life.
Good morning again, everyone. We have been having challenges with microphones this morning, as you have heard. I hope you can hear me now. My name is Reverend Rona Segura, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today to our service. If you are joining us for the very first time, welcome. And if you are here and returning to our service every week, it is wonderful. Thank you for joining us. The Unity Movement offers spiritual principles for full and abundant living. These are tools that we can use that are practical, that we can put into place in our lives right now. right here. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who is our primary way shower and example, and we honor that there is wisdom in every faith tradition. Indeed, there is wisdom in story, in that's fine, Walt, thank you. In story, in book, in poetry, in all. And so we honor every person's right to choose their own spiritual path. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. We open our service as we do every week in a time of quiet prayer. We are so grateful that we can come together in this amazing gift of technology, that at a time when we are unable to be here personally with each other, that we are still able to connect. We know that there is only one presence, one power. That presence, that power in which we live, we move, we have our being. That power that goes by many names and is understood in many ways. Some call God, some call Spirit, Creator, Yahweh, Allah. By whatever name we give it, there is only one power, and it is in this one power that we are connected. And in that connection, we can bless. And so we bless every person, every sentient being on this planet, invoking our connection of love, one heart to another. We bless every person with an intention and hope for peace, for contentment, for joy, for an experience of the fullness of life. And it is in this spirit that we open our service this morning. And so it is. Amen. Wow. As you can tell, we've had some interesting learnings in the past few weeks. As you know, starting in June, we stopped live streaming from home and moved back to the sanctuary, and we're live streaming there for several weeks. And then last week, thank you, Walt. Last week, we had an incident happen that caused us to decide that we would continue to go back and live stream from home again. And last week, the board decided that in light of our desire to keep everyone safe, and in an abundance of caution, and in light of the fact that British Columbia is experiencing an increase in coronavirus cases, we have decided that at least until the end of September, we will continue to do our services from home and suspend our experience at the church itself. In these past several weeks, though, it has been wonderful to have the experience of allowing people to come into the fellowship hall and sit socially distant apart, wearing masks, and able to watch the service on YouTube live. So even though they weren't in the sanctuary, it was an opportunity for our community to come together and at least see each other's faces. Unfortunately, now with this decision, we need to suspend that as well. And I'm hoping that those who did come at least feel that they got a little bit of that fulfillment that they were missing by not being able to be at the church. So I just want to let you know that we are working from the intention of an abundance of caution, and we really feel that this is the wise and intelligent, discerning thing for our ministry to do at the moment. What that's meant is that we are trying new things at home to try and improve our live stream experience. And one of those things is to try a different microphone. And those inputs can get a little messy. So that's what you were hearing today. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay now through the camera without the secondary input of the microphone, which had been active all this time without us knowing. I hope I didn't swear. The other thing that you'll notice today is that the service is going to be a little different because this has all taken a fair amount of energy to create and to put together. And one of the things that I'll be doing in the next couple of weeks is taking Sunday off. And so we are creating the service in advance. So today's message is actually going to be a previously recorded message from 2 years ago. You'll hear a reference to Jackie Woodside, and for those of you who are not familiar with her, Jackie is someone who came and did a workshop with us, and it was life-changing for some people. She's such an energetic and empowering speaker, and her message is all about your vibe. And so if you hear me speaking today in this talk about how big is your bubble and your vibe, it is in reference to Jackie. I think you'll get the gist of it without necessarily having been exposed to that workshop. And so I thank you for your patience as we navigate this journey together. It has actually been kind of fun, kind of frustrating, and doesn't that sometimes sound like life? So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to take this time now to move into a time of meditation and settling in. And we're going to do that by beginning with reading the daily word. Today's daily word is protected. I shine my light and I am protected. Feelings of fear that creep into my life may conjure childhood memories of scary nighttime images and noises. As a child, I may have felt afraid of the dark or startled by an unfamiliar sound. But the morning sun always dispelled the darkness, and I realized there was never anything to fear. I keep that knowledge alive as I let the divine presence within dissolve the darkness of fear and shine the light of comfort and safety. Now, when any darkness descends in my life, I remember the protecting love, presence, and power of God, expressing as me. As I attune more fully to my divine nature, light dawns within my consciousness, and I realize that God's protection is always mine. And from Psalm 27, verse 1, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? I invite you, if it's comfortable and safe for you, to close your eyes with me and take a breath. And give yourself permission just for these few minutes to be still. As we become aware of our breath flowing in and flowing out, we give thanks for that reminder of the flow of life. And we rest. I share with you the Buddhist Metabhavana, a variation. When I feel fear, I picture myself as a young and beloved child, and I relax as I am held in the arms of loving kindness. May I be at peace. May I be at ease.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
I want you to envision with me, if you will, a bubble, or a balloon, or a beach ball. Something that can expand and contract. But unlike balloons or bubbles or beach balls, this bubble, this sphere, can't break. It can only keep getting bigger. Got that picture? Think of that. I think of that as consciousness. The context, if you will, of our consciousness. A few weeks ago, Jackie Woodside was here and spoke about consciousness and the importance of how everything we do is part of a context in which we live and in which we are conscious. And so today I want to share with you some ideas that I have of her work and her experience, and how I interpret it for me, and hopefully it'll help everyone here. She speaks about the ideas of beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and thoughts, our being, if you will, all residing in this bubble, my term, of consciousness. And basically what happens when we live is we live by default. We have a default consciousness. It's kind of like what we grow up and wake up with every single day. And for the most part, we don't wake up and go, well, today I'm going to have an extremely conscious day. And we don't wake up and say, I'm going to have a glorious day, although there's a hint. And we don't wake up and say, well, we're going to have a crappy day today. Right? And we live, for the most part, by this default context, this default bubble of consciousness. And yet what's true is if we want to have a life that is joy-filled and abundant and laughter-filled and filled with all the good things in our world, it helps if we intend it. Because when we do that, we expand that bubble and we create a different default context, a different default consciousness. And so today, I want to play with some of the things that we might be able to do that will expand our bubble so that we can experience more of the good stuff and maybe shift our default context so that our default bubble isn't this big anymore, but just incrementally keeps growing and growing and growing. As we do that, we move from the smallest stress ball consciousness to the beach ball consciousness. That's what I should have called this talk. From stress ball to beach ball. Yeah. Everybody go home, come back next week. From stress ball to beach ball. Little bubble to big bubble. We can still work with that. And so there are three things I want to share with you today. 3 segments that we'll explore to do with this idea of consciousness. And the first is to do with stuff that we can do on our outer level. Because as Jackie reminded us, what happens on the outside affects us on the inside, and what happens on the inside affects us on the outside. And sometimes it feels a little uncomfortable working with stuff on the inside, but we can always work on stuff on the outside that's really practical, and it feels great. So the very first thing we're going to do is explore some of the stuff on the outer. Then we'll explore some of what we say, both to ourselves and on the outer to other people. And then what we do. So those will be the 3 little quirky dots for today. Let's talk for a moment about that outer experience. I'm a procrastinator, and so a few years ago I remember a very powerful life lesson for me. I was behind in my taxes, and I don't know what it's like for you guys, but when I'm behind in something, the last thing I want to do is do it. Am I the only one who has that? Please tell me no. Okay, thank you. So I was telling a friend about this. I was saying, you know, I know I have to do it, but when I know I have to do something like this, it becomes so much more compelling to vacuum. And this friend said, you know, Rona, sometimes the best thing a friend can do is just to hold you gently accountable. So when can I count on you to do that? Oh my God. So I said, okay, I'll do, I don't know, 2015 by 2 weeks from now. He said, would it be okay if I call you and see how you're doing with that? So, yes, I did it. And I gotta tell you, it felt amazing. I felt free. I felt like, wow, this sword of Damocles that had been hanging over my head was all of a sudden completely released. And I had that power within me the entire time, and I didn't use it until someone else just gently held my hand and said, come with me. And me dragging, kicking and screaming, nonetheless, did so. The good news is, once I learned that, I've become pretty good at doing that for other people, including myself once in a while. But what it did for me was stick in my mind when I started to hear what Jackie is talking about with respect to this relationship with the stuff we have on our outer life. And her feeling is excellence within is reflected in excellence without. And so if we want to have sort of a backdoor approach to feeling better, we can start playing with some of the stuff in our outer world. And she came up with these 5 different areas in our lives: our financial, our relationships, our careers, our physical space, and our health. And she suggested, for example, that if you want to feel better, go clear out a closet. Because what happens when you clear out clutter is you start to feel less cluttered. And when you feel less cluttered, it feels free. She suggests that we make sure that we all have wills in place. Why? Because when we have that in place, we know that our business is being taken care of, and it feels good. It feels powerful when we know that our lives are in order. Order is one of the 12 powers, one of our 12 faculties that we can invoke on the outer that will feed our sense of empowerment. Interesting how much that actually works. And so what I invite each of us this week to do is to think of something on our outer that's been kind of bugging us. Something that we've been putting off looking at, perhaps. Something that might be a difficult conversation, even, that we might have been putting off. But something on our outer. If you can't think of anything to do, clean out a drawer. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. Make a commitment maybe to put away your mail and pay all your bills as soon as you get them, whatever it might be. Something that you know I kind of should do and you kind of don't like doing, so you find something else to do that's so much more fun, like watching Netflix. And try to put that into your schedule. See how it feels. And then make that a habit. And take it from me. Find someone who can gently hold you accountable. Who can gently hold you accountable. Preferably not a spouse.
I know, because you tell me to mind my own business.
When spouses do it, it's yay. But when friends do it, somehow it's different. Anyway. Number one though. Play a little bit with some of that outer stuff. It helps to expand our bubble, because we don't carry that weight and it doesn't push on us. That's number one. Number two, be intentional in what we say. Wow, we're all real good at I am. I'm tired. I'm sick, I'm not feeling well, I'm overwhelmed, whatever it might be. And every I am statement is a definition and a claim for our bubble. It's part of that context. It's part of our beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and thoughts. And we do worry, don't we? We do say things like, I'm not going to have enough. Oh my, what's going to happen if? Oh dear. And we're sort of trained to do that from early, for whatever reason, and yet we are totally in that place of worrying about things that may never happen. And in Luke, at the Sermon on the Mount, which is captured in this particular reading is captured in Matthew as well as in Luke. It turns out that, we humans have been worrying about stuff for at least 2,000 years. Because Jesus tells his disciples also that they need not worry. He says, Luke chapter 12, verse 22, he says to his disciples, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body, what you will wear. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens, they neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? And can any of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your span of life? If then you are not able to do so small a thing as that, why do you worry about the rest?" Why do you worry about the rest? And yet we look around us, don't we? And we see volcanoes erupting. And we see terrible tragedies of shootings. And we see people losing their houses because of floods. And on that very same day as that is happening, all those scary, horrible things are happening. We see great joy in our friends and our royals and celebrities becoming married. And we realize that we're part of this kaleidoscope of all these different experiences within our bubble. And we realize that that bubble is probably going on much the same in our head, where we have some moments of great joy and other moments of, I'm scared, and other moments of despair or fear. And can we hold the idea that somehow we know that all things work together for good? We may not see it yet, and it may be painful right in that moment, and God, I know it is for people who have lost their children. But there is good in it. Can that be part of our bubble? Can we use that translucent idea with these multicolors, if you will, in this bubble, soapy bubble? Help us to see that even though there's pain, that there will be healing. What is the next most positive thing that we can think of about whatever experience we're going through? Because when we can at least hold that, when we can know that there's all this pain, and there are people who are doing amazing things to help mitigate the pain, when we can see that there's some opportunity for some wonderful giving, can that not just help to expand us from despair to despair plus? Because when we do that, we're expanding our bubble and allowing hope to come into a place that might otherwise feel hopeless. So, when we speak to ourselves, when we speak out loud, let us make sure that we are speaking from a place that at least has a little bit more hope than we're used to speaking. So instead of, I'm tired, how about, I'll sleep really well tonight. There's something about just changing that energy that expands our bubble. My sister talks about moving from win to win. From woe is me to winning. How often do we speak win? Tired, sick, angry, late, that's me. How can we shift it into something more positive? We're the ones who get to label it. We are our own label maker. Love it, love it, love it. I know. Who's your daddy? Who's your label maker? You are. Sometimes we give too much power over to other things, you know? We're our own label maker. And then, intentional in what we do. We want to align what we do with what we want to be. You know, John Lennon said, life is what's happening while we're making other plans. And how we spend our days is how we spend our life. And too often, I think, that is a place where we exist in default. Where we exist in just moving along, drudging step by step. And yet, can we not be in a place where we can say, this is why I am here. This is what I want to do. This is what, at the end of my life, when people look back at me, this is what my business card will say. She was whatever. A teacher, a healer, kind, gentle. He was kind, gentle, same things. And yet, if we want that to be our end point, what's stopping us from living it now? Because the end point could be further away or closer than we think. The point is to be living in alignment with our mission, in alignment with the thing that brings us joy. So that when we look back or look at our business card, what we do every single day reflects what we purport to do, what we want to do. I think I told you about this brilliant quote that I've heard in the movie The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, where the man is supposed to say, or is trying to say the words, "There's no time like the present." And what he says is, "There's no present like the time." And that is actually pretty powerful. Not only is there no here and now, except here and now, but it is our gift to choose how we spend our time And too often in our languaging, we speak about being crazy busy, overwhelmed, anxiety-filled. I can't get it all done. And yet, there's no present like the time. If what we are doing is what we want to do, then it's not work anymore. It should be play. And if it's play, there's all kinds of time. Because there's no need for anything else. This is what I choose to do in this moment. Me being up here is what I choose to do in this moment. And I am loving it, being here. It's not work. If we can all get to that place in every single one of our living ministries, and we all have one, then what we do will always be aligned with who we want to be. And when that happens and we're in that place of joy, everything expands. And so, I invite you to think about what it is that you are on this planet to do. What is it that brings you joy? What is it that lights you up? We all have seen people who know exactly what they are doing and why they're doing it, and we can tell. Because when they're in that space, they literally radiate. At least it seems that way. Better not say the word literally, because I don't know if it's really literally, but it feels literally. We can see that they walk in and you can see their energy. It's like their life force is beaming from them. What is it that lights you up? Because that's where you want to live. So, I invite you to consider the idea of expanding your bubble. It won't burst. That's the beauty of love, is that it expands and expands and expands and doesn't burst. And so, play. Play with the stuff in your outer. Clean a drawer, open your mail, file your mail. Expand in how you speak. When you're saying something that sounds limiting, that sounds like it would contract that bubble, what can you say that is just one tiny bit more positive than what you are used to saying? That will expand your bubble. And when you're choosing how to spend your time, choose whatever lights you up. And if you have to do it anyway, choose to allow it to light you up. You might as well have fun. Our beliefs, our emotions, our attitudes, our thoughts. Those are the contexts that create our consciousness bubble. Do we want to be a stress ball, a beach ball? Do we want to be a little bubble or a big bubble? Have fun. In the summer now, every time you see kids playing with bubbles or beach balls, remember this talk. You're on it. How big bubble. Make it big.
I think you're wonderful when somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. It makes me want to say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. When we practice this phrase in the most honest way and find something special in someone each day, we'll lift up the world one heart at a time. It all starts by saying this one simple line. I think you're wonderful when somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. It makes me want to say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. When each one of us feels important inside, loving and giving and glad we're alive. Oh, what a difference we'll make in each day, and all because someone decided to say, I think you're wonderful when somebody says that to me. I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. It makes me want to say the same thing to somebody new. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, I think you're wonderful too.
So I want to bring you up to date on what is going on at Unity of New Westminster. I hope you enjoyed that talk. I needed it. It was lovely to hear, actually. I think my bubble got a little smaller in these past little while, so it was a good reminder that I get to choose to expand that bubble. Reminder on Thursdays at 11 o'clock that we have a prayer service that is online on Zoom. And what we do with that is everybody comes online, we chat, we check in, and then we have a prayer service where we hold in prayer the names of people who have requested prayer or for whom prayers have been requested. And we follow the Silent Unity prayer service as a rough guideline as well. No experience is necessary. Please join. It is a wonderfully centering and calming experience to be part of our prayer circle. And speaking of prayer, if you would like to be added to that prayer list, or if you would like one-on-one prayer, then please drop us an email or call, and we will make sure that your name is added. We have a prayer chaplain who will pray with you privately, one-on-one. And so you have plenty of support from our Unity of New Westminster prayer community. And also, be reminded that Silent Unity is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so they will help you for free, leading you through a guided prayer for anything. You can use it for I've lost my keys, all the way up to some very serious mental health, physical health, and other challenges you may be experiencing. The food pantry has been a real gift to us. We have discovered with excitement that people are taking food and taking just what they need, which is so rewarding and refreshing. And we've discovered with excitement that people are leaving food. And so that whole food pantry is doing exactly what we were hoping that it would do, which is to allow people to get in the flow of both receiving and giving from their abundance. So just a reminder that it is something that we can do during times of pandemic when our facility is shut down. The pantry is just outside the fellowship hall on the exterior of the building, so people can come and go, taking and leaving as they are comfortable. A reminder that fellowship, we will have fellowship right after the service on Zoom. Erin will be putting the link up on our Facebook page. And what we invite people to do is to grab a coffee and to come and join, just to check in, just as we would on every Sunday if we were back in the old normal times. And so just come and join us, and we'll see your faces and hear your voices. And that in itself is what builds our community so much at this time. There are several different ways to give to our community, and I want to honor and thank all who have been so generous in the giving and supporting of our community during this time. If you want to give through check or through cash or through Interact transfer or through credit card, all of the options are available to you. Please just give the office a call if you need any help with any of that. And again, thank you to those who have given so generously. And if you're feeling that you aren't able to give at the moment, I get it. Instead, give of your heart. Give of your energy. Give a blessing. Find something to give. It's a great reminder that we are in the flow of abundance. And as we are in that flow right now, let's take a moment to give thanks for our abundance. So I invite you to hold in your hands or in your heart something that you are grateful for and that you are wanting to bless. It may be your financial gift. It may be a family member. Whatever it is, take the time to bless. Take the time to be grateful as we sing our blessing song.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so as we end our service today, I want to thank you and share how blessed I feel to be part of your community, to be part of our community, and to be so supported and to feel your support. Please join us after the service for coffee on Zoom. And don't forget to expand your bubble. Do what you love. Do what brings you life. We sing our
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with
I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light